Meditation is basically a state of being in the very present moment, where you're not thinking about your problems, you're not thinking about what happened 10 years ago, you're not thinking or worrying about the future. You're just in this present moment. And through meditation, you can enter this flow state. So, what I mean by flow state is, let's look back, all right, when you were a kid, when you went to that amazing park, the day before a new adventure, a school trip, on an excursion or a vacation, you just couldn't sleep. And when you woke up the next day, you felt all this joy, you felt all this excitement. You literally felt like you were the top of the world. And when you went to that amazing vacation, it may be just a park, maybe just that amusement park, or a new vacation spot that you've never been before. And when you went there, you were not thinking about your problems, you were not worrying about your future. It felt so wonderful. You were in this present moment, you're not thinking about anything. And that is being in a meditative state. You were in a meditative state. That state is called meditative state. And when you are in that meditative state, when you were in that meditative state as a kid, and when you started drawing something on the paper with color pencils, with crayons, or painting something, or you are playing with your friends, you are not thinking, you're just flowing. You are not thinking, okay, what color comes next? Okay, how should I play with my friends? Is there any logic? How should I talk to my friends? Is there any specific way I should come across? How is my tonality? How's my pronunciation? You were not worried about any of this. And it was just flowing. All these ideas that randomly came up in your brain, it started flowing. And that is what I call flow state. Now, flow state is an advanced form from meditation, all right? You enter the meditative state, and then through meditative state, through that meditation, with the help of meditation, you can achieve flow state. Imagine in your work or in your school, university, you're not thinking, but everything just clicks. Whatever question that arises at the time of the day, it just flows naturally. You don't even have to put logic, reason, or even rational behind any of the things that you're comprehending on a daily basis. It just flows naturally. And those of you who are creative, or singers, songwriters, or musicians, artists, painters, dancers, or even video creators, you will know what I mean, because sometimes when you involve so much in your craft, there's just sense of flow, all right? And you can achieve this through meditation. Now, I'm not saying, all right, you to sit down, light a lamp, and chant mantras, all right? You don't really have to do any of that. Some of that chanting mantras work, but if you're a beginner, if you were like me, who couldn't sit down and close my eyes for even 20 seconds, then don't start chanting mantras. It's not going to do anything, because we have been trapped, we have been escaping reality. We have been escaping from being in this present moment, and we have been conditioned like that throughout our teenage years, from the journey of us growing up as a child to becoming an adult. We have been conditioned to not live in the present moment, always thinking rationality, always thinking about logic behind everything. We start to use logic even in our relationships. You know how that ends? Start using logic when it comes to love, when it comes to expressing yourself, and then you start using logic while dealing with your emotions instead of just letting it pass through, embracing it, and letting go. So, when it comes to meditation, all right, you don't have to do any of those chanting mantras, you don't have to do any of those lighting lamps if you're starting out. If you're starting out, all you have to do is allow yourself to embrace the unknown. Now, what I mean by the unknown is when you close your eyes, when you sit there and when you close your eyes, or even for 20 seconds, you will feel discomfort. You'll feel thoughts arise, all right? And these are pleasant thoughts. Sometimes these are not so pleasant thoughts. So when there is not so pleasant thoughts that arise, you tend to stop being in that state of meditation. You're like, no, I just want to get up and leave. And that is exactly what I did. And I used to sit for 20 seconds. I could not comprehend what is going on. Like there was too much to take in. A lot of things were going inside my brain. I didn't know how to handle that. So I just got up and left. Now, meditation is not some tool where you just sit and try to open your third eye. It's not all that. There's so many practical applications to meditation in your daily life. If you want to open your third eye, awesome. All right, sit down and meditate. But most of us have very busy schedules. Our daily life is so intense, packed, and tight. So we can use meditation to achieve the state of calmness. So when we are in this meditative state, all right, it is so much more easier for our brain to start functioning in a much higher level. We are letting go of past traumatic situations. We are being in this present moment, and then we achieve flow state. We not only acquire patience, calmness, and non-reactivity to any external trigger, but we also gain intelligence and achieve that flow state through which we don't even have to apply logic. We don't even have to think what is coming outside our mouth. Things just flow naturally. Ideas come out of thin air. All right, whatever you want to say just automatically happens. So achieving flow state is a whole another topic. I'll make another separate video on that. But to achieve a flow state, you must first be in this meditative state. And to get into this meditative state, you don't even have to sit down. First I was sitting down and getting into the practice of myself into that meditative state. And that practice of getting into the meditative state is called meditation. You're just practicing. And to get into that meditative state, nowadays I don't even sit down and meditate. I don't even have to close my eyes. Whenever I'm listening to music, I'm in a meditative state. I'm not thinking about the past. I'm not thinking about the future. I'm just there. I'm just observing all the beautiful harmonics. I start noticing the bass line. I start noticing the fifth, the third, and the seventh harmonies. So many songs which I've never heard before. And all this happens only if you're in the present moment. If you're listening to the music and if you're thinking about what somebody has done to you or have you been hurt, you fail to appreciate the true beauty of music. And same thing, I'll be walking and catch sunsets. I'll slip into that meditative state. I'm just there, present in that moment. I'll be walking in a park. I'm in a meditative state. Sometimes I'm just sitting there, and I'm observing the view from wherever I'm sitting. I may be in a train, I may be in a bus. If there's a beautiful view, everything just pauses. Time slows down, and I achieve this meditative state. Now, you can do that too. You don't really have to be sitting down to meditate. Close your eyes. Now, to get into that state, you need practice. And that practice is meditation. And for that meditation, you have to sit down or lie down or just have a good posture while sitting in a chair. And just breathe in and breathe out. Now, I'll make a whole guided meditation for beginners in a separate video. So the whole logic behind this is just find a place where you're comfortable. Sit down. It really doesn't matter if it's not very organized or not very spiritual or you're not lighting lamps or anything. Don't do all that stuff. All right, just sit down, observe yourself. After you come back from work, after you come back from university or anything, like before you go to sleep, just at 5-10 minutes, if you don't have any time, just sit down there and observe your thoughts for a good 2 minutes. Good 2 minutes. All right, just start with 2 minutes. For 120 seconds, all you have to do is how am I feeling right now? What are the thoughts that arise in my mind? All right, and why am I feeling like that? Just let them pass through. Right, embrace them, absorb them, and just be there. Don't judge them. Don't try to jump into conclusions on how you will deal with them or how you should have reacted, how you should react. No, none of that stuff. Just be there. All right, acknowledge them. Don't try to ignore. Oh my God, these thoughts are coming. Don't try to ignore them. Just stay there. Stay there. It's like you're observing the universe as the observer. So if you watch Marvel's What If, the TV show, the observer is just standing there behind that fourth dimensional wall and he's watching all these superheroes do their stuff. And he's not interfering, He's not contemplating, he's just there. Be the observer. All right, just observe your thoughts. It's like you're sitting in a train, you're passing by, you're observing the view. Just observe. Those thoughts will come and they'll pass. All these worries will come and they'll pass. And when you start doing this, when you start doing this, now I'm doing Aikido. When you start doing this on a regular basis, it'll be so much more easier for you to observe your surroundings more and achieve that state of presence. And when you're in the state of presence, it is so much more easier for you to let go. And once you're there, you're not judging anything, you're not judging yourself, you're not judging the thoughts, you're just letting them pass by. You're in the state. You're kind of slipping into that meditative state. On the initial days, it'll take some time for it to shed out those thoughts, but slowly, around 2-3 weeks, it may be even as fast as 1 week. For 1 week, if you do this on the 8th or the 9th day, you'll find yourself being more calm. Now, use breath work to this. Just take in deep breaths. Inhale, exhale. Now you don't have to count your breath, you don't have to hold your breath, just deep inhalation and exhalation. And you're doing this with your eyes closed and you're just observing those thoughts. And this is the initial step which will put you in the state of being present, the state of practicing being the presence and being the observer. And then whenever some negative thoughts arise, you just let go. You just let go of them again and again and again. And by doing this, you will notice that you're much more calm by the end of the meditation. You're much more calm. And that's why people have so many success stories. I meditated and I made $1 billion. It is not meditation itself. It is they used meditation to get into a meditative state, which helped them propel into a trajectory of the flow state, which enabled them to not think about the past, nor the future, just be in this present moment and utilize all the opportunities that's been there while they're being so calm, so collected, so observant. They're not thinking about anything but just their goal, and it narrows down the path. It's like you're driving a car and being present. All right, you're not looking at the rearview mirror, or you're not turning back when you're driving. If you're going ahead in life, and if you're looking back, and if you're driving, you will not reach your destination. You may even crash your car. And we are actually essentially living a life like that. We're trying to move forward, but we're focused. We're looking back and we're driving forward. We're looking back thinking, oh my God, that happened in the past. That is there in the way. And some of us are worried, what's going to come 200 miles from now? What's going to come 300 miles from now? If you're thinking like that, you will not enjoy the ride. So what meditation does is aligns your head straight to the road, where you're not focused about the back, you're not turning back. I mean, you're looking back through the rear view mirror, the side view mirror. You're not only looking at that, you're more focused on the road, and it makes the path more clear. You start to see things more clear, and this enables you to focus on the present, not even what's going to come 500 miles from now. Just focused and you enjoy the ride. And when you start enjoying the ride, living in this flow state, living in this meditative state, and living in this moment, success just comes. It is all so natural because you have only one job. That's to be present and move forward. And if you're doing only that, you will move forward. And it sounds very simple, but doing all the inner work and shadow work, that especially when all these toxic things that have happened in the past come up during meditation, dealing with them is hard, but it's so worth it. Doing all the inner work and shadow work is so amazing, because after that, you don't even have to think about it. It'll be just information to you. So this is how you can start meditation. You just have to sit down, find a comfortable place, close your eyes, and let thoughts arise. Don't just be there. Just be the observer and let these thoughts pass by. Let them arise, and don't contemplate, don't think about any of it. And there's a painful memory, let it arise, let it emerge out from the darkness. Don't keep it hidden. The only way you can fight darkness is by turning on the light. Only light can defeat darkness. You cannot defeat darkness by hiding it back or showing it more darkness. Bring it to light. When you bring it to light, let go of them. Use breath work. Inhale, exhale. And if you just do it for 5 minutes, you'll watch your life transform. And slowly you can slip into a meditative state just by doing this practice. 5 minutes a day. Sometimes you can extend it for 25 minutes, 30 minutes, which is actually very effective. All right. And then once you start doing this for a long time, it becomes practice. You don't even have to sit down some days. You just are walking and you're slipping into the meditative state, which then enables you to reach that flow state.